bump that. I gotta be offended by this, and I gotta stand up for against it because it's for racism. But even that is taught. You know, that's the culture that still has to be taught because I mean, at the end of the day, you have this inanimate object here, but in order for it to cause offense to you, then someone had to teach you that there was some offense to be tied to it. You know, so it's not going to be every black person. I don't know. They hadn't discussed that with us. You know, no, about the flag.
No, of course not. Of course not. Of course not.
But that's the thing, man.
The flag, by the way, I mean, we can't see you. See, you're like cut off a little bit. You got to move into the middle towards your brother. Yeah, there you go. All right. So yeah, you know, and that's what bothers me about all these events is that we want to speak about free speech, but yet we want to, you know, focus on not pissing people off too much. And I'm just wondering what's the point of it then?
I think what it is, Jovi, is that people are afraid nowadays. Like, we used to be a lot more open as Americans to how we felt and how we thought of things. We used to go out there on the public square and literally stand for what we believed in. I mean, it's just that with most people, like with whites, I mean, we're brought up to believe that if you try to say anything or challenge a narrative, or even, I would say that, you know, when they say that the American flag is supposedly more racist because didn't slavery lasted longer under the American flag or even the flag of Great Britain than it did under the rebel flag. That was just like a 4-year period, you know? And it was only like Southerners who just wanted to.
I don't know. I'm just here to get the dislikes going down.
It's crazy how they just say you have to feel bad and follow the narrative and how they – and this is what they do. They use the media to condition you to hate people who might try to represent who they are. They say that it's hate. I don't think it really is hate unless they go out there and say they hate you directly. But really, it's just a word they use to make you afraid and make people agitated and angry at you, so then they can inflict physical violence and then you just are intimidated. It's just intimidation they use now. So you better use your rights before you lose
Look at the title.
This intimidation is just going to lead to more and more of our rights being taken away. Because we're not going to speak.
And then I get
agreed.
Gotta cover that title.
Speaking of intimidation, I would say this title is pretty intimidating to many people.
What's up, Gina Patriot?
Hey, man.
Yeah, that's a good title to
the
have.
Title, man. That's one of them things where it's like the words, man, like the word nigga is a word.
So I can say the word nigga
it
too?
was used as a way to degrade
okay now,
people
right?
and stuff.
Okay?
But what is that? If you're gonna degrade me, and the action behind it was really the issue. Explain that.
I'm just saying, like you just said about the like British rule, slavery being on the British.
13, you know,
like
14. Now we're up to 14.
Even the term if you're using "gur,"
Justin Bentley.
like the British pronunciation for that is "guh." So you got a lot of people running around
14 dislikes already.
Like, you're using the more racist pronunciation of the term than the ER. So I think
even
we don't understand
people
terminology.
Just seeing the name of the title,
we tie emotions to terminology so much that we let words
just the title itself.
But we can run around calling people a xenophobe or homophobe. Now you're actually making an accusation that can be false on somebody, but that's okay. But I can't say just use a specific term. A lot of times these terms, what it is the action that follows that term is what people are upset by. Yeah. But I have no reason to be upset by certain words because there is no action ensue following that.
Look at all these patriots, ladies and gentlemen.
So why is it when I look up certain terms that they are saying offensive?
I don't know if this guy's white nationalism. Now he's saying the N-word. What's going on here? I'm confused. Because I thought this was white nationalism. I don't get this, folks.
When there's no harm being inflicted upon me,
I don't get this.
On the other foot,
this was white nationalism.
Like I just said, why are some people able to say call you a white nationalist or this, that, and the other? If some people are feeling offended with that term, why are some people able to use that term? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's a double standard.
Double standard.
But that's what we're doing here. We're trying to let you understand that. What's it called? People like you are not going to be on Turning Point or Fox News saying that because they're all offended. They're very, they're very what's the word? They're PC themselves. So my question is, why is it that Candace Owens has this great big platform and you guys are just starting, and you probably have a stronger message than she does, you know? Yeah. And it's like, what bothers me is you use this term, and I didn't even know that the G and the Gur, you know, I didn't even know about that. I mean, did you know about that, Mosley? I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Well, of course you did. You're the historian here.
I know that. I'm not afraid to think what I think, but I would say this. Yeah, I mean, in English terms, I said it was an English word because Negro is actually Spanish for black.
Yeah. You just can't pronounce it right.
Yeah. And the word wasn't used because of slavery. It was,
no.
I would say it was because when, perhaps when race came in contact with each other, but I mean, look, we honestly, as ordinary people, have nothing against one.
Oh, these idiots, man.
And also the hypocrisy. I think when you're talking about this Candace Owens, I mean, she's saying that, it's the Democrats. But first of all, the Democratic Party of the 1950s and 40s was a hell of a lot different. When Roosevelt, the New Deal came in, made it a leftist party. It's not all of a sudden. It's not that it's. But I will say this: their presumed love for Negro people is a fallacy. I mean, they don't live in Section 8 houses or black neighborhoods or send their kids to black schools. If they really love integration and they love minorities so much, they would have their own children live and marry them. Why is it that they say that they're for it, but yet they force the common people to do it, yet they won't do it themselves? I think it's hypocrisy.
Understood.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't see none of them living around here at all.
Why so many dislikes?
That's the thing. Like we help our own people around here. I mean, that's the thing that we had to break from when we were growing up. Is like.
Yeah, we're going for the dislikes, Gina. Come on,
really to.
I'm not gonna probably stay on too long.
If I'm a man myself and I have my own family,
because this is probably
why would I feel very so
damn, they got you, CIA Bob.
Giving my family's livelihood, putting that in the hands of another man. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, like I say, every once in a while you need help from other people. You need help, and that's collaboration, and that's human nature. You get help from people when you need help. But like you said, the government that just is their control. The government is not going to take my role in my family. Exactly. I'm not willing to give that up.
Well, listen. Let me tell you something right now.
Let me tell you.
People always talk about racism this, racism that, right? I see it as people are being treated better just because of their race. That bothers me.
No doubt.
The reason why
what's the channel? The Goy fellas. I'm gonna put the link. Hold on.
You'll have someone like Candace Owens who probably was saying something.
So you can say the N-word in that chat, apparently.
But because she's black, she got a platform. You know, and then you guys have to ask yourself.
I don't know. Hopefully, really these guys get into like an argument or something,
or they just want to see a black Republican, or they just want to see a black guy speak about being pro-Trump. And I always tell people this: I don't fall into the identity politics. Why? Because there's groups out there like blacks for Trump, Jews for Trump, Latinos for Trump, but there's no whites for Trump. Are you trying to tell me every white voted for Trump? Absolutely not. So what's wrong with having this group?
Yeah, I mean, most of the white population of this country did vote for Trump, but we have to use words like silent majority. What the hell does the majority mean?
It's just an Augustus Invictus,
it has to be the white-skinned people, but that can't say that they're white or even say that they are white and have interest as other groups. If you say that, what they're saying is that when they took the country away from, like, white people, for example, who were like the majority. No, I'm not saying that it was only for us. You had better lives than you do now, back then. What it is now is that they have this new establishment, which then wants to get rid of us while they just continue to exploit you and me, hand over fist. I mean, they degrade your people by creating the whole welfare culture.
Oh yeah,
where you can't even provide for your families anymore, and a black kid probably can't. I mean, sometimes might not grow up without a father.
Sometimes, most of the time, that's what's happening, and you have to wake up to it. But guess who's not talking about that?
Who?
The Brexit movement. The Brexit movement is not going to black neighborhoods and speaking
who's not talking about it
in black communities. Why do you think blacks don't vote Republican? Because they don't see Republicans.
Yeah, we got it up to 22 dislikes, folks.
Speaking about the issues. Democrats do it. However,
22
Democrats go there. Look at Ocasio-Cortez. People are saying, "Oh, she cheated. She got in there because she scammed everyone."
Three more. We got 25.
A Hispanic or black neighborhood in the Bronx and got her votes through there. How do you expect a Republican to be voted for?
We're not shutting anything down here. We're just giving it thumbs down.
Yeah, but like you said as well, man, it's like, like the question that you asked like a few minutes ago, you said, do they see the platform or hear what you're saying, or are they just seeing the fact that, you're a black person and is that what they're going off of? Because like now, since I've been actually keeping up with certain things, like even in our own little area here where we are, there are black politicians that you can go to one side of the street and it's like a bunch of white people, and the street signs are better. The community looks so much better.
I've been placed on timeout.
And it's run down, it's like the hood.
They put me on timeout.
And it's like, how do we reach out to
See, Mr. Free Speech over here puts me on timeout. You have been placed in timeout by the owner of this video moderator.
He's promising them all this stuff.
Folks, look at that.
They're just like,
you're deleted too, Bugbear.
He giving them free food.
Wow, look at that, Bugbear. Damn. Look at that free speech, my ass, yo.
No matter what you're saying, I can trust you because and you've been in office for 15 years and nothing has changed.
Look at this, deleted. See, everybody's getting deleted.
I'm gonna vote for you every single time.
With identity politics, that's hard. That's
so much for free speech, right?
It's like, all right. So if I do this, do I say, this is for the black people, or this is for the I try not to do that.
I think they're here to promote their mixtape.
Then you get in touch with people that's doing that, and then it's like,
who's Marcus Farkas?
Unless they see a black person. It's hard to break that down in people's minds.
I'll be back in like 10 seconds.
It ain't about me being black. Listen to what I'm saying. Screw my skin color, because really, I ain't just talking to black people. It's whoever listens.
Yeah, and I think it's weird because you have BLM, right? You have Black Lives Matter, always talking about Black Lives Matter, but they never step foot in my neighborhood. They never step foot in any black neighborhood. They won't do it. So Black Lives Matter, but only in safe white neighborhoods. Got it. Understand. but then you have the Blexit movement doing the same exact thing. They're talking. I didn't even know Charlie Kirk was from Chicago. He won't step foot in those areas of Chicago and talk about.
Yeah, try to get a mod, yo. Try to get that mod,
black men in America, because he's not built like that.
Frankville, the two monkeys.
Someone's not going to do it. So who's going to do it? Who's going to actually go to the neighborhood and speak to these people?
I mean, the thing is that, Joey, is that
the people down there,
for example, this is the problem that also affects the white people too, because we both have politicians. They are us. They are our race, but they don't do the things that they don't provide. They're not helping. They're not advocating for you. They're not going to support your or defend your positions. It's like, for example, like in your
case, are for me, raid gangs to shut down and message you don't agree with. Don't be a hypocrite.
Literally get your vote, but then he does nothing. A white man could literally see another white face as in Washington and think, is he going to support my interest? No, he isn't.
We are here to listen to the message.
Hundreds of millions of dollars a year in foreign aid or waste money on useless shit. We don't have men like George Washington or you guys or even Marcus Garvey or Booker T. Washington. I mean, they say, look, you got to help out your own race. You have to help your people to get out of its problems. And you got to use, you can't, identity politics isn't a problem. It's that they use, our perception of race where they use our own people, but they don't do the things to help our race. So you need is someone who can literally go to your community and say, I'm going to help you. I am going to stick my neck out there to see you have a better future, to see you have a better infrastructure, to put an end to the crime that's tearing up our communities. Philadelphia, there wasn't as many problems.
Damn, they got you, Prankville.
They had tight-knit communities. They were tight-knit communities in West Philly. Most of the black population
What's up, Grace Evans?
West Philly.
Damn, they shutting people down.
Was this before or after
we got 23 dislikes.
Civil rights movement?
This was before and up to the 1960s. Because
if they don't let me, what's up, Sons of Liberty?
Had about at least maybe 100, 200.
Make sure to give the video a thumbs down.
Left the South, and that was when we had the first large. That's pretty much the beginning of when you had black population in the city. I'm saying is that when they started off, they developed their neighborhoods. You had some poverty. Sure, but if you look at their organization, you had a middle.
What's up for free speech over here? Agree with you. There's not freedom of speech.
Negro businesses, Negroes only, barbershop, bars, restaurants, hotel. I mean, you had businesses that catered to their people, and they were all organized and well maintained in colleges. Today, they have that, but they don't have much.
Marcus, you're a piece of shit.
It's like when Jackie Robinson went and then integrated baseball. What happened to the Negro baseball league? It screwed over all those Negro baseball.
I see if he bans me now.
They never speak about Jackie Robinson.
I see if he bans me now. Fuck him, yo.
Guess what happened to the Negro baseball league? It was gone. All those owners, all those businesses.
Yeah.
On.
Just with white businesses, just like with some of the white businesses. I mean, look. May I say this? The people who loudly say we're against, like the big people who say they're against the racism. I think that honestly, when they say that, they themselves are also
Rebel 95,
and they're not doing.
Look at the name of the title.
Then you could see
the
so-called racist speak to you.
This guy is going for it. This guy is going for for that medal.
Say, look,
Shock
we
jock.
understand what problems you're going through. We want to see you have a better future for yourself.
Look at me, I'm brave.
How is that? They don't want guys like me and Joe in this.
There's ways of doing things. If you want,
having a voice,
not at all.
Because if we had our
we're trolling. We're trolling this idiot.
Would be a lot more nicer. It would be America as it was. A land of opportunity, but with responsible leadership.
Be careful.
So listen, the way I see it is,
be careful not to.
You have. I'm sorry to cut you off, Philly.
Sorry, Joe.
You have an issue right now with Republicans and Democrats, and this is the issue. You have people telling you to walk away from the Democratic plantation. But there's a reason why they call it the Democratic plantation, because you're entering into the Republican plantation. And you're like, wait a minute. These people aren't a plantation. Oh, yes, they are. Trust me. They focus on.
You completely shadow ban. I can't. I only see you at Mac.
Like they want me to speak Spanish.
I don't know if you guys can still see my comments.
I refuse to be someone's political puppet. I refuse to do that. There's people that actually have done it. There's people that have been on Spanish news television. They bark in Spanish just for the Republicans, and I'm just like, why? And those people, they're not being true to themselves. Macho Dan? I'm an American. I believe in nationalism. I believe in actual nationalism. What white Europeans brought to this country was such a great idea that I wanted to keep living on. I want the Constitution.
I'm going to fast bash.
But once the Constitution no longer exists, what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to revolt. We're supposed to take a stand, and that's what we're kind of doing now. That's what we're doing right now with this message, with this title, 50 Shades of Nigger. Why? Because we believe that there's an issue right now within the black community, and it's probably more than 50 shades, but still, we're here to say it, And you're gonna trust me. You're gonna be on so many right wing shows and everything after this, because they love it. They love seeing black guys doing something, that they don't normally do. They love to defeat the narrative, but they just want to showcase them as black. They don't care that they're conservative or Republican or American. They don't care about that. All they care about is that you're black. You have to send this black message. You have to, reach out to the black voter. No, I'm not going to tell the Spanish voter, hey, vote this way. I'm going to tell them, think before you vote. That's what I'm here.
And that's what we trying to do, man. We trying to tell. We ain't never told nobody to lead the Democrats to go and be Republican. We ain't never said that. Yeah, people say I vote independent. I'm going to. I want to, be a. I think.
Yeah, Jared Holtz is funding
I associate with the Libertarian Party. Some people's like, I like the Green Party. Whatever, it's cool. We've even said, even if you do the research and you still decide that you want to vote Democrat, do your thing. I don't think that's going to happen. Exactly. We don't think that's going to happen after you do. But
he's the East Coast baked Black Alaska.
We're not trying to make you Alaska. Start looking at stuff and thinking for yourself. That's all we tell you. Decide what you want to decide. We don't look at it like
I hope these guys are reading the comments. I'm waiting for them to read the comments. As long as if they don't read the comments, we can't trigger them. They have to read the comments.
The thing that we're doing this for is about America. It's about liberty across the board. Screw the color thing. Screw the color thing. It ain't about that. The word nigga. Bump that. I call white people niggas. If you acting stupid and acting like you can't learn, you a nigga. You a Mexican and you acting like a nigga, you a nigga. You black, you acting like a nigga, you a nigga. Usually when I say nigga, I mean as a way for
I mean a male, basically when I use it. But I mean, some people now I understand. Some people grew up in a time period where that was jacked up. They don't like the word. Fine, but it's a word. You can't let that word dictate what you do. Somebody call you an idiot.
You also this is what I'm talking about right now. You can't allow people to say, forget about color, because when they say forget about color, they're really saying just forget about whites. Whites don't matter. Whites don't have culture. Whites don't have a what's called a rich history. Whites need to be disregarded as even a race of people. We need to just focus on everyone else. So when they speak about multiculturalism, they're speaking about an anti-white rhetoric. It's anti-white rhetoric. When they say diversity, guess what? 5, 6 different whites inside of a room is not diverse. But you put 5 or 6 blacks in a room, all of a sudden there's diversity in the crowd. It's ridiculous. This is the problem that we're dealing with now. I am not going to play into identity politics only because whites are not given an identity. They are not allowed to have whites for Trump. They're not allowed to have men for Trump or Christians for Trump for some reason.
Queers.
Y'all want a White History Month?
I mean, you could have queers for Trump. I mean, why?
Well, whites. Okay, we should have a Jewish History Month so we can learn more about the Jews and what they've been. See, the thing is, right? People will learn about this on their own. People will learn about this on their own. You'll learn about Black history on your own because you want to learn it, not because it's being shoved down your throats the way they want.
That's the thing with Black History Month. I do not like it. We don't subscribe to Black History Month. We don't even teach about people that like we don't talk about Wentworth Cheswell or Christmas addicts or any of these people that free black men in that time that fought for liberty and fought for liberty. That's the thing we miss. Black people don't believe in general. We don't think that we don't think we have a place here. Yeah. But you do. You fought just like everybody else did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say this. February actually I think it used to be Confederate History Month. But anyway.
And then you got a lot of blacks out there saying we need to celebrate Black History Month. But then they don't realize it's the shortest month of the year.
It's the shortest month of the year. So they gave you something to keep you quiet.
Shortest month of the year. This Valentine's Day, this President's Day. I thought January was gonna be Black History Month, but no, it's February. I'm pretty sure. But look, I don't do that. I don't subscribe to it because I'm not for that. I'm not for focusing on blacks, because we already were taught about blacks when we were growing up.
But you still weren't even taught the right way on that. Just like we weren't taught the right way. Like the slaves over in this country, we focus on slavery, and we look at slaves and we automatically tie that term to black. But what about the white slaves that were here? What about the Irish slaves that were here? What about the English poor that were here before 1655? I mean, before African slaves were even brought over in the 1600s.
Yeah, exactly. The British had brought over their own poor in Scotland and England.
There you go.
Irishmen. In fact, Irishmen used to be the dominant ethnicity of the Caribbean, and because of their own religious and racial hatred towards Irishmen, they brought over blacks. That's why the Caribbean is black. Because, as you bring in more and more of a slave population, you're kind of like a gentry, demographically, that slave population becomes the majority. I mean, you didn't have that in the South because the slave trade ended. But, I mean, South Carolina was majority black for most of its history until, blacks moved up north. But what I'm trying to get at is that when they say we want to have a black face, but then it sometimes makes you think they're doing it so that the white people can see how, how they had to have you out there saying you like Trump and that you like these policies and not their own people saying it. I mean, it's because of this guilt and this lack of conscious identity and this feeling that, we're just disregarded, evil, vile people. That's responsible for racism and prejudice and all sorts of evil, rotten things in the world.
One of the biggest issues in America.
I'm getting finished on that. I'm saying
sorry about that.
I'm saying is to the point. White people are afraid. Lots of them are afraid just to then realize that they are themselves white and that they have nothing to fear about or nothing to really be sorry about. But we do recognize that there's a problem. I think that, and it's the same how they're saying to your people, move to this new plantation when they're saying, individualism and not sorry. If they're talking about conservatism, what are they conserving? What are they really conserving? They're giving away money to businesses. They're giving tax breaks to the rich, and they're sending money all the way to Israel, and they're sending money to God knows what else. They're pocketing it in your pockets, and then they're saying, we're going to conserve your Christian traditional values. Okay, this gay guy's allowed to be part of our party. We're going to make our party exclusively. You have to toe the line for the left when you say that you want to protect your values and you're on the right, What kind of conservative, what does it mean to be a conservative when you toe the line and you will conserve your values at the behest of the left?
You see, this is what bothers me about the left and right paradigm, right? I remember watching a video called Vice, Black Conservatives versus Black Liberals, and I'm just like, wait a minute, what? I've never met a Black liberal unless they were gay.
I had a Black liberal too.
Okay, I've never met a Black liberal unless they were gay. They were pushing more on the left side. Almost every Black I know is not for gay marriage, or they weren't raised in that, that was something that was not even frowned upon. It was illegal in the Black household. I mean, there's Black men who are even afraid to say that they dab into cunnilingus, I remember that too. But this whole idea that there's this left and right between the Black community, I don't believe it. I believe that Blacks are always been more conservative, and they never really changed their values about that. But of course they're going to vote for
majority that we know are more on the conservative side. And only thing is, we vote by skin color most of the time. It ain't by our values or what we really believe in. It's really by the skin color. We feel like we had to vote Democrat because that's how we talk. We're taught to vote Democrat. We're taught to vote for the left side, and that's what we do out of just routine.
That's all good and all, but the thing is that with white people, we tend to vote for policies that are entirely against our interests, while you know what you need and what you want. You know what I mean? I think it's George Rock, as this one guy once said, Black men vote Black, Jews vote Jewish. Only the white people are stupid enough to divide themselves into Republican and Democratic parties over certain issues when really they have the same ideas of what they want: morality, decency, and preservation of what they have, so that they can hand it on to the children. The preservation of Western society and perhaps improving it as well. I mean, you got to vote white. I mean, people did vote white when they vote Trump. And what's happening is that with the polarization of our two peoples, well, actually not even our peoples, but the Hispanic, they're growing them in such a large number that now they want to make us no longer have the chance to get Donald Trump, like a man like him, elected ever again.
So the question is, I guess in my mind is, are we voting for skin color, or are we voting for America? Like, what are we doing? What's best for America? Or are we doing what's best for our ethnic groups, supposedly? Even though we're all supposed to be America
is supposed to be about what's best for us all, and including our race. But they use the skin color thing. Well, not for us, but they use it for you guys, saying that this man's a Black man, and he's going to give you all sorts of good stuff, but he's not going to fix the crime in your community. He's not going to fix the poverty in your community. He's not going to give you jobs. He's not going to give you an education. He's not going to give you the set of values that is needed in order to push yourself beyond the limits to get out of your impoverishment. I mean, what the Negro was doing in this country in order to get a middle class, I mean, just the same process as the Irish and the Italians did, and they were impoverished, and look at them today. I mean, most of them, you might have, I mean, sure, the poor whites in the cities are usually the Irishmen, but you got the rest of them that do pretty well for themselves, And I'm saying is that you need individual collectivism, but we all have, but we have to just fix what's good for fix the problems of our people and get them to get on a better path. But we do want to make America great again, but the only way you're going to make America great again is if we all together deal with the problems within our races.
The way to make America great again, what you have to understand, is by keeping it majority white. Okay, yeah. The idea that this nation should be less white is an abomination, because this land is being preserved for a reason. It's because of white law, I would even call it, or at one time was white law or a Christian law in a sense, but now it's Judeo law, and that's the one that's affecting us the most. These are man-made laws that do not abide by the Constitution, that are really hurting and strictening our rights. And people don't understand that. And the more we speak about it, the more our voices are being, silenced. Now, if people don't agree with that, that's fine. But that's what I believe. I believe that this country will be saved if you stop pushing this idea that we need to be less white. You stop pushing this idea that we need to be more diverse and multicultural, when even before the civil rights movement, blacks were thriving in business. Blacks had actually a better community because blacks were focused on building their own leagues, their own businesses, their own companies. You know, who knows? If the civil rights movement never happened, blacks would have probably had their own electric company. But no, that's not what's happening today. Everyone has to pay the bill. And guess what? There's one group of people that are never blamed for any of this. There's one group of people that never take responsibility for their actions. There's one group of people that are never called out for their war crimes. One group of people that consists of 2% of this population in America, but 68% of the wealth. And you know who that group is? I think you guys know who that group is. I don't even need to say it. Who's the group?
And that's why you're talking about the Jews. Yeah. But one point that you made, man, that's one thing that I say is the danger with generalization. I feel like I said, keep America, the way we're gonna make America great again is to keep America white. But then it's like, I know white people who don't even care about the Constitution. I know white people that will be considered blacker than us, even so to speak, and they don't give a crap about the Constitution. That being the standard of America, they don't care about it. So if we say keep it white, but like, are we using the standard of the Constitution, or are we using the standard as white? So that's the thing I see danger with generalization so much. But when we're having a conversation, I understand that we have to use those, use that to get the conversation out there, but to generalize everything like that, that's why I feel like it's it becomes like a double-edged sword in a sense. Because when you say vote for your race or whatever, I'm like, vote for your individual interest. That's my thing. Like, I vote for things is like, all right, I want to own business. So if this is gonna help me own a business, I'm voting for it. I don't. The stinker thing is, I ain't waiting for the.
Like, what I like to do here is, if the guest reading the comments, you pin the guest against the host.
Right now. Every time they use a great idea, a great example of socialism, it's a ethno state. It's a country that has the majority is one race or one ethnicity. So every time they use a great example, or like, oh, Japan has great gun laws or whatever. It's like, yeah, it's because it's 98% Japanese and 99% Japanese. They go by one culture, one idea, if anything. But in America, we have to be so diverse and multicultural. We have to let everybody in. Like, I'm okay with saying that, whites come first, blacks come second, and maybe Mexicans come third. Maybe, or maybe like Hispanics. Maybe Hispanics come third. If it wasn't for this flood of migrants coming into this country and people just coming through the borders, the first most spoken language would have been English, of course. The second would have been German. The second right now is Spanish in America. How the hell did that happen? When you have, I think, 40 or 45% of Californians that speak Spanish,
Well, yeah, because California used to be 89, 90% white. Now it's 37% white because we opened up. We're literally giving back the Southwest to the Mexicans. And they are doing it. They are taking it because it's their ethnic interest of wanting it, They see it as their land, their blood and soil. This land, a lot of this land is our land, just as parts of the South can be your land, technically, because your ethnicity had made the majority of those areas, like the Black Belt is called.
I'm just quoting Ann Coulter. Ann Coulter said it. Ann Coulter said,
"Oh man, it's hard. It's hard. That's why it's hard for us too, because we know our great grandfather was white." So that's what makes it kind of on our father's side. Yeah, that's what makes it kind of hard for us because, like you say, in that time period, You know,
everyone makes fun of Jovi. Everybody's watching this to make fun of Jovi and have fun. We're not watching this to learn. Right? We just fucking having fun right now.
That time being his great
grandkids.
It's like, man,
I'm not here to talk politics or we're here to have fun.
We have more European
at the expense of this
3
idiot.
generations of black, so to speak. That's where it gets kind of. That's why I say generalization. It gets kind of tough.
Yeah, because most of them mutts anyway.
I hope Jovi goes against him because Jovi hates being corrected.
Reparations is so funky with me. I'm like, how do you figure out who get paid? You can't figure it out. It's too mixed. It's a tough one.
They did it with the Jews. They knew who to pay when it came to the Jews and their reparations. That's for sure. They did not hesitate on that at all. They knew that the Jews, what was it? Their descendants. Come on, Mosey, help me out. How many generations were given reparations?
We're on the third generation right now.
Yeah, third generation, and it's.
I mean, even with that, I don't agree with that. Like after the people, like
Geronimo Jackson,
if you gonna give people in civil rights something, like if you gonna do that. But the people after that don't get nothing. You didn't deal. You didn't
Geronimo
go
Jackson.
Yeah. So the people with the Holocaust, you want to talk about the Holocaust and stuff or something like that? Yeah. The people that was there, I don't
see, I'm gonna help you out. Hold on.
You don't get nothing because you want that.
Yeah, you're talking about reparations. That's gonna be you're giving something to someone who for a wrong being done to the individual. You know, you giving them compensation.
Somebody put the R, drop the R.
Just off the term alone, it doesn't make sense to try to give reparations to like this generation, 5 generations down, and you still trying to. It doesn't make sense because once again, the action that was done was associated terms and whatnot with actions, and it doesn't make sense. Just like I said, I don't feel wrong if somebody say nigger or whatever, like I'm still gonna be looking like I'm looking right now because it doesn't harm me because there was no action that ensued that was done upon me that I should feel any pain or any hurt. Our father is 84 years old. He might feel a little some type of way because once he hears that there is an action in his mind that was associated with that. So
why does Outkast have like papers on top of the American flag? Isn't that like illegal?
There was no wrong done to me. You know?
Why are they covering the flag? Why is Outkast over here?
You know, I was actually gonna say just now, it was what's it called? I would say perhaps you're.
They timed you
you're
up.
From North Carolina, right?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you would have. I mean, lots of Black Americans actually do have white blood in them. If you have like a lighter black, technically, you know that person probably has white blood in them. I'm saying is that, you know, we have that identity as well. But I think that when you said individualism,
they got you, got a squad.
With white
Prankville,
people,
bye, Felicia.
We're individualistic, but we also think of collectivism too. You can have both. It's
CIA
like
bug, you got deleted. Android Russo, you got deleted.
Respect individual interests.
Damn, we're dropping like flies over here.
Are an individual.
Oh, they got me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm banned. They blocked me. That's it.
That's what I see.
When you can't put the little dot over your name, they block me. That's it. I'm shadow banned.
American or a Black American. And you're
I'm
part
done.
Of a collective.
They blocked me. That's it.
That then is tied to the United States. You know, America.
If I can't comment, I don't need to be here, man.
Wanting to do good for
That's
our people.
That's bullshit, man. They fucking blocked me.
A much better place. If America,
you know, fuck this guy. You know, if I can't comment, I'm not gonna watch your video.
Quote, unquote,
simple as that.
Destroyed, but turned itself apart.
You fucking censor
America's
people, man.
Out there, and it still can be.
Oh, Mr. Free Speech, and yeah, you wanna talk bad about the Jews and everything? Like you're an idiot, man. And you use the N word on your title, man. You're just fucking reckless. I'm out of here, folks. Fuck this video. Fuck these. I'm not giving him more views. Fuck that shit, man. Cause that got me upset, man. That censoring shit, no. The censorship is real. And you know what? You know what, folks? I think we did a good job today. You know why? Because we pushed him into censorship. The Macho Man Dan, you got it! The Macho Man Dan got it! Macho. Oh, I got deleted. But we got it for you. The Macho Man completed it. Nah, but good job, folks. We pushed the censorship. I just want to show for the record, you did it, man. Macho Man threw in a nuke at the end, man. You completed it on your own. So look, delete it. Everybody delete it. Look at that. Delete it. Everybody delete it. Yeah, so much for. Is copyright protected? Nah. If he strikes me, I hope he strikes me. Because then you want, that's gay ops right there. How can you copyright strike a video? It's not even yours. And on top of that, I'm talking over it. I have videos all over it, so I'm good. Let him strike me. Ooh, the internet will take out Jovi. The whole internet will destroy Jovi. He gives me a copyright strike. That's some gay ops shit. So please, Jovi, go ahead. Give me a fucking strike for your bullshit content and watch the whole fucking world come down on you, bitch. So please do. Right now, you censoring everybody. Now you're only going to have 3 viewers now. I'm not watching this shit no more. That's it. You don't let me participate. What's the point of watching? Fuck you, man. It's fucked up, man. Censoring free speech. It's not cool. That's it, man. Prankville's a faggot. Yeah, he is. Look, nobody else is commenting anymore. Look, that's it. The live chat is dead. It's dead. I have to pick on girls that want to be on the phone with Joe. That's it. This chat is dead. Man, we had fun, guys. It was fun while it lasted. I'm going to have to regroup, come up with a new strategy. We were the whole chat. Exactly. So... blows. Joey blows cock. Look, 3-man group right here. Buck, Jovi, blows cock. Right there. 3-man group. See, that's how you do it, folks. So thank you for tuning in. You guys are learning. For those of you that are new, you're learning some art to skills of trolling. And the internet is not just about politics and arguing. Sometimes it's good to troll locals like Jovi and just have some fun, share some laughs, have a good time. Thank you for tuning in, folks. I'll be back later with another video. Great laughs. See, that's all about the laughs. You're welcome, Gina, Andrew. We're here for the laughs, for the LOLs, the lows. That's what we're here for. You know, we're not here to get angry or anything like that. So thank you for tuning in, folks. I'll catch you guys later.